Hello, everybody. I'm Markiplier, and I'm here joined by my good friend PewDiePie.
I'm Jacksepticeye. Hi.
That's exactly what I said. Yeah.
I'm Green PewDiePie. What's up?
We're watching SpongeBob vs. Aquaman.
It's a good opening bit.
I'm just gonna fucking press. I'm not even gonna start with an elaborate opening. I'm just gonna press play. I'm expecting Aquaman to not win.
SpongeBob SquarePants, Nickelodeon's number one
Really?
nautical
Mm-hmm.
nincompoop.
Aquaman, the thalassic third wheel of the Super Friends. Thalassic means ocean. I looked it up.
The infinite ink
Good job,
Good for you,
seems to
Boomstick.
home to any number of terrifying, awe-inspiring creatures.
They're also home to these two losers. Though when it comes to cartoon characters, there's
Hey,
only
don't call
four hidden
SpongeBob a
beneath the
loser.
waves. That's right, we're prioritizing the cartoons for maximum Toon Force shenanigans. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find
Does
out who
Super
will win
Friends
the
Aquaman have Toon Force?
I don't think so.
The year was 1946.
He has like a lot of stuff
Former
going on,
allies of
but
World War II were engaged in a cold
Okay.
war between capitalist West and communist East.
The United
oh yeah,
States
I didn't watch the
history
previews,
forever
but I
with the
guess based on what people were saying that Wiz says that's right, Boomstick, and then Biff sent me a clip of him saying that. So I guessed correctly.
Right.
Over the course of 12 years for a total fission yield of 42.2 megatons was
Before they watched it, Brandon gave like his own like shit takey version on how he thought the script was gonna go, and based on the analyses I had seen, it was fucking so spot on.
Oh god. It's really lagging for some reason on my end.
Bikini Bottom organized into a monarchy under the god King Neptune.
Tom Kenny, there he is.
I'm willing to just blame the lag on the fact that Rooster Teeth's website still sucks.
Old and brash.
Actually, Rooster Teeth in general just sucks.
including the very first multicellular organism to be categorized as part of the animal kingdom, the sea sponge.
And one sponge in particular, the greatest among them, lives in a pint.
Oh, he said among.
sea.
It's Mickey Mouse.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
No, I wanted to sing the song.
I don't know about greatest. SpongeBob may headline one of the most
Full
popular
name of Robert
of all time,
SquarePants.
but he's a total dork. He's a painfully naive man-child whose only ambition in life is to continue
Outlived the Bikini Bottom apocalypse.
Yeah, I noticed that, and I don't know what to say.
He sounded like a
I've never seen an episode of the show,
No one
so.
wants to be a Squidward.
Yeah, they're doing exactly what I thought they would based on what I've seen of the Spidey preview and just scaling SpongeBob up.
SpongeBob is routinely physically incapable of even the most basic tasks. Almost like
Yeah, I love the scene where he fucking breaks his fingers trying to crack his knuckles.
failed to lift a glass of lemonade.
Does that mean he's strong or he's weak?
Or the time he effortlessly rotated the entire planet. Huh.
Oh, we're in for some shit now, aren't we? Despite being a real sea creature, SpongeBob is more like a kitchen sponge. Absorbent and
Yeah, you know, all these things kitchen sponges do.
he can stretch and shape
Yeah, I know, it's real danger. I gotta be really nice to my
I've
kitchen
never-
sponge so it doesn't flip the world around.
and absorb immense amounts of liquid. Wouldn't he always be full, though?
Absorbing water is correct. Kitchen sponges do that.
God. Enough water to
Mm-hmm.
replace the moon?
Oh, and for some reason, he has an insane healing factor. He survived being tortured
Because he's a sponge.
having his soul removed.
Sponges don't really die.
Literally being
I remember that,
out
there was
of
cool
existence. Okay, I think we're good. We can
Existence
just,
erasure.
run down here.
No. I need to see how deep this rabbit hole goes. Perhaps his most mind-bending ability is his control over bubbles. No, stay with me. This is unbelievable.
It reminds me of the Pokemon Royale when Boomstick is listing off all of Blastoise's moves. He's like, he's got like headbutts and flash cannons and deadliest of all, bubbles.
Magic pencil, which can draw anything he wants.
Wiz is
Oh no,
going.
Boomstick has the magic pencil.
Just as easily. The pencil was so powerful.
I hope he just draws an Among Us.
Sent it back to the surface where it belonged. But in later seasons, he still just has it for some reason.
And finished. I call him Doodle Whiz. Whiz?
Oh
Yeah.
no.
But I made him with the pencil.
I'm calling the police.
Even the munch
Doodle Whiz, Stomps Whiz, Canonic. If Boomstick can just make a Whiz that can stomp a Whiz, like,
blower, which hoovered up the
seems like an open and shut case.
Yeah.
and then exploded on top of SpongeBob all at once.
It's estimated estimated the entire mass of Earth's oceans is about 1.5 quintillion tons. Considering all the water refilled the planet in about 1 second, that'd be a kinetic energy of over 6,000 yotatons.
That's enough energy to nuke Jupiter 13 times over. And SpongeBob was
You
A
know,
lot
I
of
mean,
energy.
technically you could use just a 3 kiloton nuke and nuke Jupiter 13 times over if you wanted to. Wouldn't do a whole lot, but you would do it.
Stuff Bikini Bottom has ever seen. The
A spatula.
a burger so delicious it's basically
Why aren't we doing SpongeBob versus Weird Al from
SpongeBob was romantically
UHF?
It can nullify mind control, heal wounds, and even detonate.
SpongeBob has survived.
He's absolutely gonna deal with the mind control by eating one of those, isn't he?
So hard their
In the
DNA
fight.
fused, can ride on the scene transitions, and once cried so hard he flooded Bikini Bottom, even though it's already underwater. Shit, he once grabbed a hold of this mysterious string and unraveled the entire universe. He literally undid the fabric of reality in seconds. What the fuck?
What was that you were saying about anti-Toon Force?
I'm sorry. I'm not sure I've ever misjudged a character as severely as SpongeBob SquarePants.
Nice character arc there, Wiz. Unfortunately for
What an
Roberto,
effect.
the rest of the town only saw the goofy goober on the outside. It took more than one adventure to prove himself to be a real hero. You think he ever banged that squirrel?
He's crushed Plankton's Plan Z, won the Battle of Bikini Bottom.
I wish
against
you didn't
armed
ask
killer
that question.
robots, and even teamed up with fellow Nickelodeon stars Timmy Turner, Jimmy Neutron, and Danny Phantom to save the Nicktoons multiverse.
With more than them.
One
of the Nicktoons adventure games had rocket power.
Humidity of the atmosphere around him, being out of the water
Mhm.
can dehydrate and permanently incapacitate him.
Oh, also seasonal rot. Those first 3 seasons are pure gold, but after that, oh boy, there's this one episode called Squid Baby.
No, fucking baby-headed Squidward's the worst one.
And shits himself on screen.
What are you talking
Wonderful.
That's such a fucking terrible episode.
Tribulations and Hasselhoff's aside,
Wonderful.
It's David Hasselhoff.
SpongeBob accepted
Wonderful.
himself for who he was, that he was rewarded with the greatest boon of all, middle management.
So if nautical nonsense be something you wish, then pray to your yellow porous god for mercy, because his whimsical laughter is the last thing you'll ever hear.
Good luck, Aquaman.
Aquaman, king of
That's all I can say to that.
Covered Arthur Curry on the show before, and he's actually secretly awesome.
That's right, Boomstick. But the version
There it
we're
is.
is from the bargain
He
bin
said the
cartoons
thing.
from the 60s and 70s.
Now, you might assume that means this
It's Super Friends Hanna-Barbera.
But really, have you watched all those cartoons?
Remember, this is from the era when Superman was sneezing solar systems apart.
I like how they still emphasize that feat as if it isn't basically nothing anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they also emphasize that feat specifically from the Silver Age comic, even though they're analyzing Super Friends Aquaman, so it wouldn't, like, same time period, I guess.
It's not even the most impressive. Like, they could literally instead go with the time he just hit someone while moving at infinite velocity and beyond.
I mean, Superman at that time could just casually just fucking fly so fast he travels through time, which that happens a lot in fiction, but that's just not how that works.
No, max
Speed
time
does
just...
not directly affect time. Gravity can stretch time, but you can't just go fast enough to time travel.
No, you go so fast, time essentially stops for you, and that's the limit. That's it. That's
My
the
prediction is that that heat ray is how they're going to give Aquaman the dub.
end. They'd have to give him some incredible stat stuff to make up for that.
They didn't mention a speed feat for SpongeBob, I don't think.
I mean, I'd imagine they could calculate him unraveling the universe.
They could. The most often cited speed feat is Patrick running to the sun and back in a few seconds, and SpongeBob probably scales.
Also an incredible swimmer, able to travel from Florida to Maine in under an hour. That's almost twice the speed of sound. He can
Wow.
Ooh.
pulls out of thin water, and fittingly, water-based attacks are completely ineffective against him. And of course,
They also don't work on SpongeBob, who is a sponge and can absorb enough to fucking be a moon.
Yeah, you see, Aquaman is immune to it, and SpongeBob just
That
absorbs it.
second part is also just from the comics. Cartoon Aquaman can talk to fish, which is awesome. His telepathy can reach several miles, summon hundreds of sea creatures at once, and works on anything from microscopic organisms to alien life.
They're probably
As
gonna
long as it's aquatic
scale him,
area,
I
of
imagine, to
course.
Superman's like
Can
dwarf star
still
level
mind
feet,
control them, right?
aren't they?
Kind
And then
of.
gonna be like, wow,
You
Aquaman's
can
actually
free
really
them from
cool.
Mind control and even influence their emotional state to some degree, but besides that, there have been times when sea creatures have just ignored his commands outright.
Wiz, I'm gonna be straight with you. You haven't said anything remotely mind-blowing yet. Does this Aquaman actually suck?
Hold your seahorses. Aquaman's exploits were so world-renowned, he banded together with Earth's mightiest heroes to form a team capable of defending the planet, nay, the universe, from any threat.
Like the motionless
Super
trails.
Friends.
The Super Friends. They're like the dime store knockoff version of the Justice League.
What? No. You've got heavy hitters like Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman,
Keep going.
Flash, Green Lantern,
Uh-huh.
Apache Chief, Samurai, Black Vulcan, the Wonder Twins, and their pet monkey Gleek.
Wiz, stop. You're embarrassing yourself.
No, wait, his best direct
Fucking
strike
banana
feat
hot dog.
was
That's
when
the
he-
word I've ever seen.
Okay, the banana hot dog got me though.
About
Just, he
3
puts
metric
the fucking sauce on it, the condiment on it, and then he peels it, so it's just pointless.
Aquaman once
I like
enrolled in an
that.
American college
It's so
under the
dumb.
name Mr. Waterman. So we're working with a pretty hefty
Mr. Waterman?
Okay, so he's lame.
Brilliant.
Inarguably completely lame. I was convinced I'd find some crazy, insane Popeye punching out the animator feet somewhere, but no, he sucks. He actually sucks. His best feat is literally garbage.
I'll take over from here, Wiz. Aquaman is a bit of a joke, sure, but he's not completely useless. He's dodged laser beams, defeated a living Titan.
I think that was just him
Dodging
running
laser beams.
in a
Just
straight
running
line.
while laser beams are missing.
Yeah.
Water elemental undone.
He actually has dodged laser beams, but they didn't use
For some
that.
reason, by summoning seagulls to pelt her with clamshells. He once even
Wouldn't
outswam
funny if they
the
just
killer
shat on her.
pterodactyl monster, Rokan, who flew from the edge of the galaxy to Earth in about 15 seconds.
Wait, really? Okay, now we're talking. That'd be over 55 billion times the speed of light. And Aquaman's
Pretty
swimming
fast.
wouldn't outmatch that. It doesn't matter if it looks lame.
You get one, buddy.
And hey, he could probably kick your ass, person that's watching at home, so that's something.
Well,
Yeah, probably.
I just give
on
myself
dry
feats.
land.
Take that.
If he's out of the water for even
Huh?
1 hour, he dies.
I just give myself
Fine,
feats.
person watching at home, just, hide for a bit,
Fucking
lunch, and
for
then
an hour?
But is raw power really?
Yeah, I could outrun
I guess
someone who can.
SpongeBob got out and I guess SpongeBob did dry out and lose power quicker.
That's what a hero is
I
to
mean,
me.
look, I'll be honest. I could probably outrun someone who moves at 55 billion times the speed of light for an hour.
he's about to die.
Yeah.
No, that's how long he can stay on land before drying out and dying.
I know. I could outrun that speed for an hour.
We've run the data through all possibility. One possibility.
It's time for Aquaman's funeral!
Even
Yeah.
they're fucking just like not even trying to cover. They're like, nope, SpongeBob wins.
Okay, it's Sprite. What the hell were those?
Robots.
Mermaid Man? Wait a second, you're not Mermaid Man.
The name's Aquaman, evildoer.
Evildoer? I'm a hero.
I saved this city.
That fucking deeper voice is spot on.
And he's
Every time I see bubbles, I just imagine them farting. I'm an adult.
You see, sir, I'm a sea sponge, phylum Porifera, and you can't just...
Wow, the water worked.
How about a little karate, Waterman?
it's Aquaman.
No, technically Waterman's correct, if you remember.
Alright, post preview time.
Of course, he's a sea creature, and as the king of the seas, he's mine to command.
Good job, man.
Getting his ass kicked by a bubble.
Reaching up to you, Sponge. Let him have it, chums. Great Neptune!
Get a load of this, Seaman.
Damn it!
Seaman.
Need water powers fading. Is there nothing I could do? My man.
I don't need it.
A multiverse of Aquaman. And out of all of them,
What are these fucking multiversal portals?
one!
Weird.
I'm a
What the fuck?
A joke. I'm no superhero.
People used to say the same kind of things about me. Goofball, wingnut, knucklehead McSpazatron. But every day, I get back up and say 2 words. I'm ready.
May the best hero win.
You just went and stole someone else's
I
fight.
like that. Yo, an army of doodlebobs. What are these multiversal? Did they? Was I just not paying attention in the analysis?
Mm-hmm.
The other side of the universe.
What the fuck?
I'll prove it to you. I'll be a real superhero.
Okay.
Don't cry, Sponge. Let's be super.
KO! What is it with ridiculously OP nautical-themed cartoon characters on this show, Wiz?
This was an incredibly close fight. Gotcha! Obviously, Aquaman didn't have a snowball's
At
chance
the
in
line and he
defeating this
faked
little
this
son of a
out.
bastard.
Wow, you really got me.
Even start. With his bubbles and magic pencils, SpongeBob could basically do anything he wanted. There was no way Aquaman wouldn't get totally overwhelmed, especially with his much more limited arsenal. I can't think of a more lopsided matchup than someone whose main attack is throwing water against a sentient sea sponge.
Aquaman's only potential
You did Natsu
option was his
versus Ace,
telepathy,
guys.
But as we've covered, it's far less powerful than his comic counterpart. There's no reason to believe SpongeBob wouldn't just ignore Arthur's commands.
Even if it was straight up mind control, SpongeBob's Krabby Patties straight up cancel mind control.
And really, nothing Aquaman had could overcome Bob's utterly broken regeneration.
The little yellow dude has survived being completely disintegrated into dust and even erased from reality. All Aquaman can do is punch kind of hard, and even that's basically useless against Bob's squishy body.
Maybe Aquaman could have found a way to dehydrate SpongeBob enough to keep him permanently incapacitated, like when he and Patrick were trapped in Shell City.
But that would require the fight to take place out of the water, which messes Aquaman up way
But he
more
has a
than it
heat
does
ray. They
SpongeBob.
even mentioned
And
it.
it also require the fight doesn't instantly
Yeah.
end up with SpongeBob karate chopping Aquaman at 10 shit zillion times the speed of light.
Like, I'm not trying to argue Aquaman wins, but
'Cause, yeah,
The
remember
speed
when
feat would be
SpongeBob
nice.
unraveled
Oh, here we
the
go.
universe? Considering the
No, I'm sorry, I need to do this one. This is fucking insane. Compared to SpongeBob's size, the string's width is about 192 micrometers. We can use that to find the volume of, say, 1 meter of string, and compare that to the volume of the entire observable universe. Considering it took SpongeBob about 5 seconds, he would have had to be pulling at 8.2 times 10 to the 78th power times faster than light.
That's as many times faster than light as there are atoms in the universe.
This is the fastest calculable speed feat in our show's history. And it belongs to SpongeBob SquarePants.
But do you think he could take on comic book Aquaman?
Have you been listening to anything I've been saying?
Good point. Because let's not forget,
Of course I didn't forget.
that string feat also destroyed the entire universe. And stuff like that is actually consistent.
SpongeBob is literally aware of the fourth wall and has rewritten the plot of his own story as he's living it. Screw the pencil or the bubbles. He can just will whatever he wants into existence from his imagination. He's a god. A yellow, spongy god of death.
And that's why he beats Goku.
At least Arthur finally got to be a real hero. And at the end of the day...
Did he really get to be a real hero? He just tried to kill someone who
He's dead.
didn't do anything
As
wrong.
The king of the seas, that sure was one
I like the
of
Sweet Victory
SquarePants
reference.
are gone. Thank you for watching.
I like that. That was a pretty fun episode.
That was alright, yeah.
But you can always get more Death Battle right now by clicking one of those boxes right over there, and by downloading the battle music linked down below.
Yeah. Let's fucking go.
I'm so excited.
Let's
I'm
fucking
so
go.
fucking excited.
I'm very excited.
I'm so excited. I talked to Biff and Max about it. I asked Max, I'm like, are you excited for the next time? Without telling me what it is. He's like, you could say I'm a fan, yeah. And Biff said that Max was not the loudest. I'm like, oh, well, I can think of who the loudest would be. Man, I'm so fucking happy. Like, I just pray this episode is good.
I need this to be good. If it's not good, I'm gonna be pissed off. Man, I'm so excited for the next time. There's so much, like, we already spent a while talking about what they could do. So.
Right.
But I just I'm wondering how they're gonna do it, because like I don't know if they could do. I think they'd probably do it in 3D. They'd probably do it in 3D this year, right?
Yeah, they could do it in 3D using like the Dead by Daylight Michael Myers model and using the Friday the 13th game or like MKX Jason or whatever, or they could make custom assets. But I hope it's live action.
I hope it's live action. I think if they were to use models, I would go with the Friday game, because like I think because it's actually textured under the mask. But I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're probably gonna use like, well, they're definitely gonna use Zombie Jason. I can't imagine a timeline where they just use Fridays 1 through 4.
Yeah, but like, cause in I think someone actually, when they took the mask off the MKX model, it's just got a regular face. For Jason.
Yeah, but they could make like custom models for it. But
their custom
my hope is that
don't tend to be the ones that I associate with. Oh, that's a good model to replicate live action atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really hoping it's live action, and I'm really hoping if it's live action, like, and this is just hoping, this isn't expecting, because I know live action fights can be harder to schedule, and they can be expensive depending on what goes into it. But if it's live action, I really hope that they get to like, I hope they get the tone right, and I hope that they get to have like good gore in it. I hope that it is I guess that it captures the spirit of a slasher film.
Yeah, that. Oh, very, very, very excited. Please be good. There's nothing more I want in the world than for this episode to be good.
I'm even excited for the prediction video. I'm so fucking excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend the rest of tonight like categorizing shit, like getting a list of powers and a list of like where feats come from, specific movies and shit, just to make sure that I'm citing my sources as accurately as I can, and so that if people like in like the viewers or people in the comment section want to see for themselves where the feat comes from, if they might watch the movie and have a different interpretation of the feat, or for feats that come from comic books and novels, they know which ones to go to, what issues, and where to find them.
Yeah, like the time
if they just want to look into something or they think it's cool.
I might
like,
when they're done recording and while I'm rendering out this reaction, I might actually just go and watch a couple Friday films. Mostly because I know where they are. I do not know where any of the Halloween movies I have are, except for the first Rob Zombie. No, the second Rob Zombie one. The one I don't like at all.
Yeah, the second one's not that good. I don't think the first one's okay.
Look,
I'm
I really like the first one. I just find it very entertaining. The fucking family at the start is so over the top, ridiculous, and stupid.
Yeah, it's so fucking like raunchy, but that's very Rob Zombie style for horror movies.
It as well. Giving us that background as Rob Zombie as it is, it at least differentiates it from the first one, because I don't recall that being like a focus in the first one. This one, at least as a remake, offers something different.
Yeah, in the first one, because like the first half or third, like the first decent chunk of Rob Zombie's on Michael's family situation and then his time in the asylum. But in the original, it opens up on a shot of Michael as a child going upstairs and murdering his sister, and then we cut to present day. Like that's just the opening crawl of the movie is Michael's child. We don't get any elaboration on that. For most of the Halloween series, at least for me, because for those who don't know, and you if you don't know, Michael is my favorite slasher character. He's my favorite horror character. Halloween '78 is my favorite horror movie and one of my favorite movies, period. I absolutely love the franchise.
I
The
actually do
thing
know
that has
all
always
that, yeah.
appealed to me the most the thing that appeals to me the most about Michael is that unlike Jason, who's going to like avenge the death of his mother and like his own death, unlike Freddy, who gets like sadistic glee from it, or like any like most other slasher characters, there's no reason that Michael kills. There's no like reasoning with him. He doesn't speak, he doesn't converse, there's no motive for anything. He just kills because plain and simply he's fucking evil. I've
Yeah.
always liked that simpleness about him, and like his design is super simple of just a William Shatner mask and usually mechanic's garb and just a knife. No like clawed glove, no pitchfork, just a knife. It's always been super simple, and I fucking it's so effective too.
Yeah.
That it's just this fucking creepy tall ass dude that for some reason just will not die.
I actually recall several interviews where the creators say that a lot of the point of Michael was to create just a pure evil character. Because, like, something you can reason with is not necessarily evil. Because you can come to
Yeah,
an
like there's
agreement with
so
it. You
many
can't do
times
that with Michael.
in Friday movies where Jason gets like slowed down or stopped because someone either dresses as like a younger version of him or his mom and says, "Oh," or like in comics, or like, "Jason, I relate to you," or "Jason, it's me, your mother," and Jason like stops for a minute and he's like, "Oh, I guess maybe killing bad," but or like some other killers can be like reasoned or bargained with. Michael will just fucking stab you anyway.
Yeah. I, I do like how between them, Jason is more of a monster and Michael's more evil. I like that.
Yeah.
It works for me.
Fucking
And I, I,
uh
I will appreciate in the first Rob Zombie film they do, with how over the top it can be, they do at least acknowledge the evil thing with Michael. So
mhm.
they didn't just throw that away, which I will appreciate.
uh going into the prediction whenever we decide to record it, I want to start the video off prefacing with there will be Halloween Ends spoilers. The movie just came out, and like most of the audience probably isn't going to have seen it yet. Halloween fans probably have, or maybe some people are waiting till Halloween to see it. I haven't even seen it yet, but I've done my research into it just because I don't mind spoilers all that much. But I'll make a spoiler disclaimer at the beginning. And the research I have done is going, assuming that they do these two characters the same way they do other characters like them, of like compositing different timelines, and like different mediums like comics and novels as well, because that's what they've done for characters like Godzilla or the Ninja Turtles or
Or just in this
Power
season,
Rangers in the past.
Predator, James Bond, Boba Fett, and
Yeah,
SpongeBob. All and to
yeah,
an extent,
like
even Trunks, because technically Heroes,
yeah,
Xenoverse, and Online are all different like timelines, but they all composited together.
yeah. So my research is assuming that they composite original timeline Michael, H2O timeline, Thorn trilogy, uh, final timeline, and reboot, and then also using novelizations of movies and the Halloween comics and short stories that they've written based on those timelines. And then for Jason, my research is assuming that they're using uh, both feats from Living Jason and Zombie Jason from Friday's Part 2 through uh, Goes to Hell, and then also Freddy versus Jason. I assume they won't use Uber Jason or Jason X of Jason X because not only are they different characters from regular Jason, they're just unnecessary. They wouldn't be necessary to add. They would feel kind of out of tone, and it would just make the fight more unfair than it
I'm
already
pretty
is.
sure if you use comics, he
Uh,
already scales to Uber Jason, so you can get any feats that might exist for him in any material and just apply it to
Right.
Zombie Jason anyway, so it doesn't matter. I like
and
Uber
also
Jason,
assuming
but
they're
he's not
using
really.
comics and novelizations for Friday, and I'll also be addressing some feats that might be taken either out of context or feats that might have different interpretations. Like on Michael's end, at the end of one of the Halloween movies, it's implied that Michael gets caught in a mine shaft explosion from a bunch of TNT that they throw down. But it's shown in the next movie that he got out before it fully went off and just caught the tail end of the explosion. And it also did knock him out and put him in a coma for an entire year. Or there's a feat where in Freddy vs. Jason, Jason gets pinned under a big boiler and pushes it off of him. In the novelization of Freddy vs. Jason, it's stated to be 10 tons. And I think that is still viable depending on if you buy it or not, but there is some debate around it because it is a feat that takes place in the dream world, and in the dream world in the Friday or in the Nightmare on Elm Street continuity, some people, if they have enough willpower, can make weird shit happen or just have superpowers in the
Yeah.
dream world. So
That'd be a discussion. I know I've watched Dream Warriors more than I want to admit, which is the premiere movie of if you believe enough, you can have powers. And even if Freddy can like shut them off, he still needs to, and there's no indication that he would have done that to Jason.
yeah, and Jason already has powers in the real world, so
Yeah,
and like even if you discount that, I mean discounting that 10 ton, I think it can also be argued from a scene in I want to say one of the Rob Zombie movies. It might just be a later from the Thorn trilogy that at some point there's a tree put in the way of a road people are driving down, and it's implied Michael might have done it, but starting either of those feats, if you don't buy the boiler feat as viable, both have just fucking flipped a car before.
yeah. I think that one of the big ones for Jason's gonna be brought up a lot is the explosion in the comics.
Which one?
The one that was erroneously calced at town level for a while, but I think was dropped down to like multi-city block and then just city block. It's like an explosion and Jason's just like in the crater.
Explosion feats in general for Jason are strange because an explosion feat that big of him surviving could be marked as an outlier because there have been several times that Jason has either been incapacitated or otherwise like severely damaged by smaller explosions, and like that's pretty much every other time he's been met with an explosion.
Most famously
or
when
explosions.
in the film where he gets hit with a rocket launcher and fucking explodes. Giblets everywhere.
Yeah, which is Jason X, and
I was thinking,
like in one of
was it
the
Jason
comics,
X?
he gets hit with a grenade and it like rips a big chunk out of him. He's been hit with point blank car explosions that haven't phased him, but generally, Jason isn't too resistant to fucking being exploded at. It'll usually incapacitate him to some extent, but he can still survive a decent few. Like there's still been a few instances where he has just walked off an explosion.
Yeah, I really want the final shot of this fight to just be the winner, which presumably will be Jason, just carrying the decapitated head of his or whatever's left of the opponent, walking towards the camera.
Yeah,
because that feels like it has the right energy. Like he won.
Yeah, that's
not a victorious thing for anyone. That one of them actually walked away.
That's how Jason's notorious crossover fight was. He's carrying Freddy's head, and then Freddy winks at the camera.
That was perfect because like that combines the darker tone of Friday with the goofiness of Nightmare really well. I just hope that they don't scale Jason to Freddy. That would just be kind of annoying. Because in the dream world, Jason got fucking mocked, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
So there's no way he's scaling like Freddy launching that house.
Jason.
Yeah. It's funny. Apparently, there was meant to be a
Uh,
Hellraiser crossover with Halloween, which feels like one of the biggest tonal clashes you could have, or maybe not tonal, but like stylistic clashes.
no,
Um,
yeah, tonal's about right because the Hellraiser films are just like they're not even. There's nothing comedic about any of them. They're not fucking slasher movies even really because the first Hellraiser at least is just about a dude that fucking is a sexual deviant, opens an evil puzzle box that kills him, and then he starts fucking killing people to reform his awful ghoul body, and Pinhead's trying to get him back. Like that the Hellraiser series is like very weird and avant-garde and like
okay, but
super fucking
have you
gory.
seen Hellraiser 3?
Where I don't think so.
Intentional or not, that movie is extremely good. There's a Cenobite who I think the fans have like nicknamed CD Head or something. He's just got CDs sticking out of his head, and he kills people by throwing them at them. Like that's so
That sounds
stupid.
about right.
No,
I know.
Halloween 3. Halloween 3. Well, I can play as a Halloween 3 too, but Hellraiser 3 is so stupid and dumb and bad. It's not good.
Like I've seen personally the first two Hellraisers, and I know it eventually went to direct to home video people movies, so eventually it just stopped being like as good. But
There is one good
at
movie
least-
after Hellraiser 2. One.
At least to my knowledge, Hellraiser is consistently a very, very gory series where like there is gore in Halloween, especially the Rob Zombie movies, and like even like the final time, like every timeline of Halloween has some gore in it, but it's never to the extent Hellraiser is of fucking like ripping people into
Yeah.
chunks with chains or fucking people's veins going up through their body to like reform them from a wad of flesh and blood, or like people being scanned, or just the general appearance of Cenobites.
Yeah. But like, if Michael had crossed over and actually scaled to Pinhead, that would have been an interesting timeline to live in. Because that would be enough to.
Pinhead scale.
Pretty sure he's like multi-continental. He's very strong.
Oh.
And it's weird because Pinhead should not be in Versus. I'm just saying it now. The only way I would see it acceptable is if you went with Hellraiser 3 when Pinhead was on Earth walking around killing people. And that is so far removed from what Pinhead's supposed to be. It's just the only Pinhead matchup I'll accept is Pinhead versus Pyramid Head, because neither of them belong in Versus. Because neither of them particularly work. So it's a matter...
Because isn't Pinhead's whole shtick like, you touched my box, now one way or another I'm gonna get you?
Yeah, so basically, with the Lemon configuration, which is the cube, if you desire to open it, it'll open, and a random Cenobite group will be selected to deal with you. It's not necessarily Pinhead's group. We only see Pinhead's group because we only see the people who open the puzzle box and are met with Pinhead, right? It's not that Pinhead's always there, it's that we only see the ones with Pinhead. So let's assume the opponent somehow gets the box, desires to open it, and then gets Pinhead. He's never going to be in a one-on-one fight with Pinhead because Pinhead is not like massively above other Cenobites to my knowledge. So is Pinhead coming in with 3 other Cenobites? You're also automatically BFR'd into hell. You're just going to be teleported into hell. And at that point, you're no longer fighting Pinhead. Because you're fighting Leviathan. Leviathan's the one in command there. So if you were to start to fight back and you were to actually give Pinhead like a problem, Leviathan can just decide, no, you're not. And if you can beat Leviathan, you'll kill Leviathan, and you're basically fighting all of hell, and Pinhead's just a side man. And if you can't defeat Leviathan, well, either you're going to be kicked out of hell, which, I mean, I guess that is a dub, or you're just going to be fucked over by Leviathan. So there's really no way, in my mind, to be in a one-on-one fight with Pinhead unless you happen to be walking up on him that one time ever he was on Earth. So that's my problem with Pinhead in Versus. I don't think it works, personally.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, the problem with Pyramid Head in Versus is debatably he doesn't fucking exist.
He just doesn't exist.
But like, at least my interpretation of Silent Hill, because this is how it's portrayed a couple times, is that specifically with a line where someone is interacting with one of the NPCs and is talking about how there are monsters crawling all over the town trying to kill them, and the person asks, "You see them as monsters?" The way that I interpret it is that Silent Hill is either a metaphor for limbo or is a real place where the things you regret most in life and like all of the darker parts of your being are manifested into physical form, or if it's like a limbo type place, it's just like metaphysical place of torment. Assuming it's real though.
I think it's
a place that
it's very heavily hinted to be the regret one.
Yeah, that it's all of the like deepest, darkest parts of your mind and like all of the regrets and repressed trauma that someone has manifests in the form of like whatever form they appear, because to some people they appear as monsters, like with Pyramid Head, who is a representation of the main character's lust and not being able to have sex with his wife. So
yeah,
even if Pyramid Head is real, not only would he not look like Pyramid Head to anyone else, it's very unlikely that it would even appear for anyone else, and you'd probably have to be in Silent Hill for him to show up. I know a lot of people have taken issue with, because of the way Silent Hill is portrayed and because of the meaning Pyramid Head has specifically too. It's, I think, James that is the protagonist of 2.
Oh, it's been so long since I've played it. Silent Hill 2.
Because of the significance that Pyramid Head holds specifically to him and the circumstances of Pyramid Head existing, people aren't a fan of Pyramid Head showing up in later games, the movie adaptations, or crossover material.
Oh yeah, no one likes that. Even if you accepted that and said that anyone who wanders, any random schmuck who wanders into Silent Hill is going to encounter Pyramid Head, the problem I have is that you're still not fighting Pyramid Head. You're fighting all of Silent Hill. Because, like, if you kill a Pyramid Head, you haven't killed anything. You've killed.
Yeah, even in the
thing.
game he appears in, there's more than one Pyramid Head, because one of the final bosses, if not the final boss, I'm not sure. It's been a long time. Is just fucking 2 Pyramid Heads, and I think they kill themselves, if I'm not wrong.
And like, how would you scale something that doesn't physically exist, really?
And like, I don't know, it's weird because Pyramid Head has definitely persisted so long based on the iconography of Silent Hill 2 and just on the iconography of how Pyramid Head looks and his intimidation. But again, he is a physical or metaphysical manifestation of James's repressed sexual urges. So him showing up to fight like fucking Nemesis or Pinhead wouldn't make a lot of sense, because both of those characters exist and neither have a reason to, because like Pinhead's sexual urges are not repressed. That's just not how a Cenobite rolls.
Nah, because in his world, pleasure and pain are one and the same. There's no difference.
Like they fucking wear their sexual urges all like on their body. It's usually fucking what gives them their name. And Nemesis just exists. He's just a fucking gross tentacle monster.
Yeah. Thanks.
But I don't know, because I know a lot of people like fucking Pyramid Head has crossed over into so much other shit, from fucking Dead by Daylight to Bomberman at this point, that most people, like, the people you will find either have an issue with it and don't like that it's happening, or have just become completely numb to it.
Yeah, I generally I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't think Silent Hill should not have a mascot creature. It should have a mascot location. That being Silent Hill, the fog. All that should be the mascot.
Sure.
Like, imagine, like, I've never played Dead by Daylight or anything, but instead of shoving Pyramid Head in, why don't you put Silent Hill in general?
That'd be an interesting concept. It's weird because, like, if you're playing as the killer for, like, Freddy Krueger, for example, you have to put someone into a dream state to be able to like use your abilities on them, which I think is weird that for the setup of the killer being Freddy to happen in the first place, like would it not just make sense to kind of imply to begin with that everybody's in a dream? Because if Freddy kills you in a dream, he kills you in the real world anyway. So why not just like have him be able to use his powers, thus implying that this match is taking place in the dream world to begin with?
Hmm. Speaking of Freddy, man, you must have been so happy to see Freddy versus Springtrap.
Uh,
What a good
like as a matchup?
what a good matchup. You seen it, right?
No, I mean, yeah, I mean I've seen the matchup before.
Don't you just love it?
No. My issue doesn't even come so much from the Freddy side of things, because Freddy is perfectly viable to use outside of the dream world. He fights outside of it plenty. The issue comes from, I think Five Nights at Freddy's and Versus is fucking stupid. I think that even if you say there are viable feats and actual powers to list for Springtrap, most of them aren't combat applicable, and he never fights, or we have no we have no indication on how he would fight. The idea of using him in a fight sounds fucking stupid.
Oh yeah,
There's
but Springtrap versus Darth Vader. I mean, let's be honest here.
I'm happy Michael's not fighting Springtrap.
Oh, that would have been the
happy
worst.
that Jason's. I'm happy Jason's not fighting Freddy.
Yeah, Freddy versus Jason as a death battle would be like doing like Godzilla versus King Kong, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say
Like-
worse. Just as bad.
Honestly, I've seen a few people don't like it very much, but I wouldn't be that upset if the next Halloween episode was something like Freddy versus Pennywise, because I fully expect it to happen at some point. And I think there's enough creatively you could do with that fight that
I think
I wouldn't mind.
what we need is Freddy to use the Infinity Gauntlet and to just snap away a Pennywise.png. I think that's what should happen in the fight.
Now this puts a smile on my face, bitch.
That would be a great, a great moment. Most people aren't gonna get what I'm referencing with that, and you know what? I don't want to actually tell anyone. I think it's funnier if they just don't know.
Playing with power.
Yeah.
I have to wonder if they used Pennywise. Would they use like, because the remake movie, or I guess like reinterpretation movies of it, the 2017 adaptation and its sequel, try to give like a human backstory to Pennywise before he became a fucking like clown demon.
Yeah, but that's stupid.
I have to wonder if they at least I remember them doing that. I might remember that wrong, or maybe Pennywise made it up. But I have to wonder if they use that, because like there is still a crash site of like he is from fucking outer space or some shit.
There's a
But
fucking nebulous entity beyond all. He's basically a Lovecraftian deity
yeah,
who takes the form of a clown because he's not very bright.
Freddy was a human at some point,
Yeah.
and then he got canceled for being a nonce, rightfully so. But
More importantly, for being a
unlike
killer.
just being, unlike most, he didn't get deplatformed. He just got set on fire.
And unlike
And then he
most,
came
also,
back, and now
I
he-
don't think he ever played Super Smash Brothers either.
Right? No, I mean like, at least in the original Nightmare film series, Freddy's not really that much of like a blatant pedophile as he is just a fucking serial child murderer. The 2010 reboot, however, they just fucking lean full into that, and it's very uncomfortable.
To be fair, the whole movie is not very good.
Yeah, no, like the one interaction I found even slightly entertaining in that movie was Freddy goes, "You want to play a game?" And the girl goes, "Fuck you." He goes, "Ooh, sounds fun." Because that just feels like something Freddy would say.
Yeah, it's just I do not like that movie. I don't like most fucking horror movie reboots. I think the only one I can
I've heard
say that in general I do like is the Friday one. I like that one.
Yeah, I've heard the Friday one's not bad at all.
I like it. I think it's good.
But like,
I I like the Halloween one. But I don't
Leprechaun
like
Origins is a piece of fucking dog shit.
That
Leprechaun
is
Origins is
awful.
so fucking bad.
that so misunderstands what anyone liked about those films. It's not even funny.
It doesn't even have a fucking leprechaun in it. It just has a gray little fucking troll creature. And also, it was produced by WWE, which fucking weird. It's not the first time or the last time WWE would be involved with horror, because like you've got the Rob Zombie Halloween movies having I think 2 former WWE wrestlers.
I think, yeah.
Because I forget who plays Michael, but he's a former wrestler. I think Joe Grizzly is in the first one.
And you know, despite
And
all
then,
this, they won't make just a dedicated Undertaker horror movie. Probably because they suck at making horror films.
Well, hasn't the Undertaker like retired from the role now?
Oh yeah, but he's shown up in cameos. There was even like this interactive
okay.
like Netflix thing where you control the New Day and have to escape the Undertaker's mansion. That was
That's
interesting.
neat.
I mean, it was fun because like I love the New Day and they're always entertaining to me. So, and every time I successfully chose the right route, I would just go, "It's a new day, yes it is," and in the middle of the lounge room, and everyone would just have to accept that I'm saying that very loudly while they're working.
I think it'd be neat to see if I can Undertaker horror movie. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, but only after
Even
we
if it
get-
leans
only after we
if
get
it
the
leans
Winnie the
full
Pooh.
on into the fucking cheesiness, I wouldn't mind.
Only after we get the Winnie the Pooh one.
I mean, yeah, like a trailer's out for Blood and Honey now. It doesn't look very good.
Yeah.
Which so a lot of people were hoping for that it would just be like a really fucking shitty B movie, but I'm kind of down for that. I realized that we barely said anything about SpongeBob versus
yeah,
Aquaman.
I completely noticed that like 10 minutes ago.
I liked the episode.
That
I
was
thought the
good.
animation was pretty cool. There was a couple of really nice character interactions. Yeah, like tonally they felt a little weird considering that like they were fighting, but you know, it's Death Battle. Like obviously trying to kill each other is just par for the course. But being able to write little nice interactions like that is neat.
I didn't
And
find it very funny, strangely enough. I didn't really find much that amusing in it.
I didn't mind the cutaway gags this time. I thought fucking
Oh no, the cutaway gags
Doodle
were
Whiz was
I hate saying this. The cutaway gags were fine. I mean, like, in the fight.
Oh, yeah, I mean, maybe I just wasn't paying attention. I didn't get the fucking, like, multiversal portals that Aquaman kept saying.
No, I don't understand that either. It was just a
I
facility.
very well could have
"I'm the
just not been paying
lamest."
attention well to the analysis, but
I'm pretty sure that's not even the lamest Aquaman that exists. I'm pretty sure there's lamer out there. I'm blanking on like Smallville Aquaman's not really up to much. And if you were to scale both to their respective Supermans, oh fuck, no, they're both Dwarf Star level. Oh fuck, Smallville Superman and Super Friends Superman are just as strong as each other. This is, oh god. Oh god.
but
Well, at least
him
Superman
scaling as
was.
high as he does in speed is interesting at least.
Yeah.
That's higher scaling than I thought he'd get, because like seeing the preview analysis they did bring up, he swims slightly faster than the speed of sound, and I'm like, that's not the highest his speed's gonna get, is it?
No, there's a lot of characters who just fly across the universe and like the solar system in those series, to my memory.
I will say, I think this is the first time, at least to my memory, first time that a death battle like just unabashedly throughout the entire analysis, it's time for a death battle segment and everything, they've just made it very blatant and clear that it's going to be a stomp.
Mikey's not gonna win this, isn't he? He better not.
It's time for Aquaman's funeral.
Yeah. I mean, it felt weird with them, like, bashing on him, and then Aquaman's supposed to be all cool in the animation, but, like, to facilitate that, he has to do something so over the top in the animation compared to anything he's ever done. It feels kind of cheap, because...
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, Wiz was batting for him the whole time, trying to fucking make him sound cool. It was mostly Boomstick that was trying to talk him down, but like, Boomstick is always the one that's talking down a character of, oh, this character is so lame. There's no way this character could be
Yeah.
cool. That said, previously, Wiz was like, SpongeBob's a wuss. He can't even pick up a glass of water, and then he goes to fucking like worship him as his
Yeah.
sponge overlord.
I'll be honest, the moment I started to pick up on what Wiz was doing, I knew exactly how the episode was going to go for the analysis. I knew exactly what he was doing. Wiz would come to love SpongeBob, and then one of the hosts in Aquaman's analysis is going to be trying to prove he's cool, while the other one disproves it and ends the opposite way to SpongeBob. I knew exactly what was happening the moment that started going on. I didn't hate it. That sounds really backhanded.
Yeah,
I didn't I thought it was.
I
thought
liked
was good.
it.
I liked it.
It was a pretty fun episode.
It was a good episode. I feel like I'm definitely not getting much out of it as someone who does not really watch SpongeBob. With that being said, I will have to
Yeah,
give it
as someone that didn't grow up with it.
I will have to give it another like dedicated rewatch in my own time. So don't expect all this to be exactly what's said in the review. I might change my mind on a few things. I liked it. Some of it felt a bit unearned. I don't know. SpongeBob's like emotional. That's what people used to say about me. Was like, okay, and then he just violently pisses on Aquaman's face. After Aquaman steals someone else's trident.
Take this, my super laser piss.
Psst. I just imagine like it's the fucking when Longina stabs Jesus Christ on the cross. Instead, this is that, but it's SpongeBob. I'm willing to bet that might have even been intentional with Wiz's SpongeBob's God thing, but it's just like he runs up and he gives him a good poke and then he gets pissed in the face. And then I don't know, it's really the ending bit, like SpongeBob rocketing from the end of the universe to Earth. I can buy that. Aquaman firing the entire ocean at SpongeBob? No.
Yeah, they never, at least in the analysis, I didn't catch them ever putting Aquaman's hydrokinesis to that level. But for the sake of spectacle, like dramatizing something for the sake of spectacle, especially in a joke fight, isn't anything of like. They definitely had Sega de Sancho doing stuff that was way out of fucking battering range for the shit he had done previously in Chuck vs. Sega.
Oh yeah, but when the point of
Like
one character is to show off how lame they are.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of the thing, is them building him up as lame and then trying to have like this semi-comedic, like heartwarming redemption arc for him. Like, it's something you can only set up and pay off so much in the span of a couple minute long animation, and like within the restraints of the length of a death battle episode. It takes away from the impact as much, but I think it's still neat. It does what it needs to do.
I want to point out Aquaman's water attack was more high scale than anything done by Silver, by Bond and Wick, obviously, higher than anything Excalibur Raiden did, higher than Boba Fett and Predator, higher than Magneto and Tetsuo, higher than Omni-Man and Homelander, higher than anything Thor and Vegeta did, higher than Tanjiro and Jonathan, basically higher than everyone other than Adam Apocalypse and Witch Zatanna and Trunks when he blew up the moon with Silver's face.
Yeah. Like...
like, Aquaman in this season has gone higher scale than Thor and Vegeta, and that's very amusing.
I can get that they don't necessarily want to make every fight where the two characters can do shit at a cosmic scale take place at a cosmic scale, because at that point, like, at a point it would become repetitive, and seeing planets or moons or stars explode or galaxies be wiped away, like it can only hold so much significance in the first place because a human brain can't fucking comprehend how big that is to begin with. But seeing it over and over and over again in cosmic fights would just kind of like make it feel a little dull. But at the same time, like I don't think Vegeta and Thor even like what did they destroy at most a mountain?
No, Thor's gold blast
When they
bounces
go
off
out
the
of their
mountain.
way in either that one or maybe Thor Wonder Woman, that Thor's casual hammer swings can fucking crack a planet apart.
Oh, with Thor Wonder
So
Woman,
at the very least, it should be destroying more than a mountain.
in Thor Wonder Woman they shatter the moon. So they
Yeah.
Thor blows up a mountain by just sort of jumping into the air. So they didn't fuck around with scale in that one. It's Thor. I don't like the God Blast being bounced off a mountain.
Yeah. I mean, my biggest complaint with that one was that they used Ultra Ego for so much of that fight. Like, that is how Vegeta has been fighting, but that's because it's the new form. Obviously, they gotta show it off. But its resume at the time of the episode happening was losing twice and nothing else. Now its resume is, I think, losing 3 or 4 times and nothing else. I would have at least liked to see some, like, Super Saiyan 1 and Super Saiyan Blue for longer than they appeared.
I would like to see Blue Evolution more than Ego, just because, like, I'm pretty sure he was in Blue Evolution for when he went blue, but like that's the only form that I've seen him achieve on his own, like on screen. I know he did Ego, but Ego didn't exactly work out for him. At least with Evolution, he put up a fight against against Jiren,
Yeah.
and like it's not as big of an L for him because like he was fighting on par with Kaioken times 20 Goku in blue, which is pretty impressive.
But this is getting into nitpicking a completely different death battle episode.
I just wanted to point out Aquaman in this was higher scale. He was higher scale than his comic book self a couple seasons back.
He was higher scale than a fucking comic book character that scales higher than he does.
Yeah, like that's what gets me is, uh, I get what you're saying with the cosmic thing though. Admittedly, we've only had 4 episodes this season where the characters are on a cosmic scale. And Adam Apocalypse are characters who don't really do that often anyway. Same with Trunks
Yeah.
Silver, honestly. They don't really go around annihilating the cosmos. It's
Trunks, to my knowledge, never has. Like, honestly, cosmic destruction doesn't happen that often in Dragon Ball. That's why
No.
it still feels impactful when it does happen.
It's pretty rare. So the only characters this season who regularly go on cosmic scale are Thor, Vegeta, Wanda, and Zatanna. And the only one of them who does that in raw destruction is Thor and Vegeta. Wanda and Zatanna do it with, like, reality warping.
Yeah, because, like, I've been thinking about it recently because I think She-Hulk just wrapped up, and I've been hearing decent enough things about it overall as a show. I've been thinking about how it'd just be fun to see She-Hulk. It'd be fun to see a character that is both absurdly physically powerful and can mess with, like, fourth wall stuff and just bring, like, a comedic air to things. And
Yeah,
also, like, some of her feats in scaling are just so absurdly funny to me. Like, I think she's claimed she holds back every time that she and Hercules have an arm wrestling match, which doesn't sound that impressive at first, but Thor and Hercules had an arm wrestling match so intense it threw a planet out of orbit.
Yeah, I don't know how much I would buy that coming from her, given she likes to talk herself up and the fact that Hercules just has, like, I think he scales higher than, like, Hulk tends to on average. Like, Hercules is
But
ridiculous.
I think that's funny if you take it into account of, like, and honestly, like,
Give us She-Hulk
if we're
versus
taking
Ambush
She-Hulk
Bug.
at her peak, then fucking, I don't think it'd be too out of the question. I think it's just a funny feat in general, is just having an arm wrestling match that somehow was powerful enough to throw a planet out of orbit. Like, by the physical function of two arms pressing against each other, it shouldn't affect the planet you're on at all.
Yeah.
I just Ambush Bug is the only She-Hulk matchup that interests me because he can do the fourth wall thing. That's it. I don't really like She-Hulk Supergirl.
If they do She-Hulk, I fully expect the Supergirl.
I don't like it. The only
I think
thing
at the very least it could be entertaining in like an idea of like Supergirl's not super fucking like dead serious all the time. Like she's still a fairly
Actually,
lighthearted character as far as
her,
like
her big thing,
like
the big thing
like
that makes her unique is her explosive temperament and her not being as lighthearted as like Superman. Like
yeah, but I'm saying it's not like a fucking dark, grittier, like fucking like emotionless, fucking stone-faced, generic superhero, whatever. Meanwhile, She-Hulk is like fucking constantly over the top and by her very nature, fucking zany and weird. And I think those two things can, if done right, produce funny results. So that's kind of what always like that's kind of the appeal, I think. And I don't want to get too fucking philosophical about like Toon Force or fucking fourth wall breaking. That's kind of always what's made like characters like Bugs Bunny so funny to begin with, is how generally subdued characters like Elmer Fudd are. Of just it's just a dude with a hunting rifle, and Bugs is doing all this weird fucking cartoony shit to him, breaking the fourth wall and just being a general menace. While this normal ass dude is just getting fucking tormented with it.
Mm. The only thing that I particularly like with She-Hulk Supergirl is the contrast of a Hulk who is generally calm and very, very rarely will get angry against a Kryptonian who has a severe anger problem and tends to explode with blinding hatred and rage on the regular, to the point where she has a Red Lantern ring. That contrast is the only thing that interests me with it. Because usually if you put any random Kryptonian against the Hulk, it's the Hulk that's going to have the anger issue. This is the only case where that's reversed. Because Supergirl,
I like to just generally try and find something enjoyable. Because like in the matchups that people like because they sound boring, or like fucking be they Marvel versus DC, or they use a verse people don't like because they don't think it works in verses or whatever. Like sometimes those matchups don't hit anything for me, but I try to at least find something I could see enjoyable about it, so that I have something to kind of hope for and look forward to if it does happen as an episode. I don't want to go into every episode that I don't have strong feelings towards thinking, oh, well, this is going to suck. The only exciting thing about this is going to be the next time.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to just, when I don't, like, with this episode, SpongeBob Aquaman, which we talk about a lot, when it comes to episodes I don't have any interest in, I just sort of go in with a blank slate and just want to see what happens.
Right. I
did like this episode. It just didn't really hit very home for me. But I will need to watch it again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I can definitely understand more, because like a lot of Death Battle's viewership, especially with the age range that they're in, will have grown up with SpongeBob, and like it'll be a very important character. Like that's why so many people in the group that I imagine will be reacting on this channel were so excited for it, and I'm sure have reacted so loudly towards it, is because most of them grew up with SpongeBob. So this matchup will probably hit a lot harder for them.
Yeah. I will say that as an Aquaman fan, the whole Aquaman's bound to fucking die thing, I'm probably the only person who's a bit about that. Because everyone else is going to be riding the SpongeBob hype, like, yeah, fuck him. SpongeBob W.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like at least they, like, SpongeBob respected him. I don't see any reason why other people can't be civil and respect him too.
Yeah, SpongeBob respected him, but, like, the whole fight was sort of built, Aquaman sucks, he gets to do one cool thing, which is way beyond anything he's ever done in his entire history, and then he dies and SpongeBob draws him a grave with the wrong name on it.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, I feel like at the very least it leaves off
grave.
on a nice enough note that maybe people will be a little more civil about it. I know that's a big hope for some parts of the community, but
I absolutely expect there to be people who will get mad on behalf of Aquaman fans, like, and vilify Death Battle for making fun of Aquaman. Like, I'm not too bothered. I'm just sort of about it.
It does not matter what the conflict in the world is. There will be someone getting mad on someone else's behalf when, like, you fuck it. Like, it's no place of yours to get mad on the behalf of someone. Like, if there's something for them to be mad about, either let them be mad about it or let them not care. That's really none of your business.
We're gonna be in the middle of all the current fucking Rooster Teeth drama, and there's still gonna be people trying to drum up drama about, oh, they made Aquaman into a joke for a lot of the episode. Well, I'm so mad, I'm shitting bricks here, mate. Wee. And don't do that. It's not the end of the world. It's fine.
At the end of the day, if you're mad about it, it's not canon. It's a fan-made project, and it doesn't matter.
You're mad
if you
about
really
it,
get that steamed about a death battle,
go watch some solid JJ videos and enjoy the fact that he makes fun of Aquaman too. Yeah.
If it death touch grass.
Yeah. I don't know how I should have been this episode. I might just end up skipping it. Yeah, and I don't really think I could do a parody of this. It's already a parody of itself.
Yeah, it like in and of itself, it's already kind of parodic.
Yeah, I only escaped Macho Man Kool-Aid Man by turning it into a fucking update for episode 50 of Not Death Battle. I can't do that again. So
right,
just gonna leave it.
I am so fucking excited for the next death battle.
Yeah, I'm. Mine's on the next death battle more than the death battle we just watched.
I hope you know this, and this isn't like all due respect as the owner of this channel and creator of these videos. In our prediction video, I'm gonna be a little fucking oppressive with how much I have to say about these characters.
That's okay. I'm not the person in that prediction that's gonna have to deal with that.
Like, I have a lot of fucking things to say about both of these characters. I have a lot of feats to go through, a lot of abilities to list, and a lot to say about this matchup and the debate. I'm very, very excited to record that video.
Yeah, I can't wait. But that'll have to come another time. This video's gone on long enough. You've seen the reaction. You've seen us talk about the next time, mostly. And that's been about an hour 12, about average. Reaction and then a podcast after, basically. So you can say what you want as your goodbyes.
Yeah, if you stuck around to the end of this video, thank you for sticking around this long. It always makes my day to read the comments from the people that either listen to this as podcasts or just sit through this video and really enjoy the videos that we make, because I always love being a part of these videos. They're super fun to make, and it's really heartwarming to hear that so many people enjoy these things that we create. And if you made it to the end of this video,
what should they say?
Let's have a hashtag he was number one.
Yeah, let's go with that.
He was number one.
So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. You can go support me on Patreon in the description. Maybe I'll remember to put the link in this time. There's always a
go
first.
do that.
There's always
we always
a
love
first
to have
everything.
more people in the Patreon server.
Yeah, and also so I can make a living, because YouTube is a wonderful platform that we all
money's nice. Plenty of cool people and cool shit happening in the Patreon server.
Yeah, I was about to badmouth YouTube, but then like with the fact that I just used Rooster Teeth's website and everything that's going on there, YouTube is amazing and I love it.
Please don't terminate the channel.
We love you, YouTube, but seriously, we don't take away the like button next or something. All right, bye everyone. Have a good one.
Goodbye.